You're watching The Verdict with Judge Hatchett. Elizabeth Cohen is suing parking attendant Nicky Bombardi in the amount of $5,306. Ms. Cohen claims Mr. Bombardi ran over her antique violin while he was parking her car. Mr. Bombardi claims it was an accident and says the plaintiff is to blame for putting such a valuable instrument on the ground out of his line of sight.
Ms. Cohen, you are here in the courtroom with your daughter, Sophia, and you are claiming that the defendant is responsible for damaging an antique violin in the amount of $5,306 to be exact.
Yeah.
Tell me what happened.
We were in New York looking at potential schools for my daughter to apply to. I thought while we were there we would have the violin appraised and then sell it to an auction house. We parked our rented car in a garage. As we were leaving, I took the violin out. I had handed the keys to him and he was on his phone the whole time. I took the violin out, set it well out of his way. Before he started pulling out, I noticed that the tires were still cranked from where I had pulled in, and I tried to get his attention. He wasn't paying any attention, presumably still on his phone, and he made a hard right while he was backing out of the space and hit the violin, completely destroying it.
Why was the violin on the concrete?
It's a pretty heavy piece. It's an antique, and it's still in the antique wooden box. It weighs over 20 pounds, and I was juggling multiple things, the appraisal forms, the auction house forms, the school pamphlets, and I just thought it would be easiest to set it down. It was, like I said, well out of the way.
Coming up.
She hands me the keys, I hop in, and I back it up, and then I hear a crunch and screaming. My daughter was screaming out there like somebody got shot. I hop out of the car, I was looking around. The precious violin got crunched.
Verdict with Judge Hatchett. The Verdict with Judge Hatchett is back with the case of Elizabeth Cohen, who is suing Nicky Bombardi for property damage.
So, you were the parking attendant?
Yes, Your Honor.
That day? And so tell me what happened.
Your Honor, I don't even know why we're here. Clearly, I have no liability in this case. No, who takes something that's expensive and puts it out on the street? That's where we put the garbage. She signed the ticket. The ticket clearly says we're not responsible for property. All right, she pulled up, she was almost double parked, and she was in a hurry. I'm parking, unloading the car. She hands me the keys, I hop in, and I back it up, and then I hear a crunch and screaming. Her daughter was screaming out there like somebody got shot. I hop out of the car, I was looking around. The precious violin got crunched. How am I supposed to know that there was violin right behind the rear tire of the SUV? Very nice, by the way.
Sophia, you were there. What happened?
I wasn't really paying attention, to be honest. I was on my phone most of the time when my mom was unloading the car. I did notice that he was on his phone when we were pulling up to the parking garage. When I was taking some selfies on my phone later, my mom actually mentioned to look back at them, and he looked like he was on his phone in the car.
Not on my phone.
It was clear on his phone.
Do you have pictures?
Yeah.
Indicating that he was on his phone? May I see those?
Yes.
Yeah, and I was not on my phone at the time I was driving her vehicle.
Let me see. So you're taking a selfie. Looks like your hand is up to your ear.
No, it could have been scratching. There's no cellular device in that picture. I got a beard, it gets eaten, you know? There's no phone. Take a look.
I don't know. Looks like a phone to me.
Judge Hatchett's verdict when we return.
You have evidence.
Yes, Your Honor.
And let me see that. So you're saying basically that when any customer comes and parks the car,
We'll give him this ticket.
and you give them the ticket. Let me see this ticket.
Clearly states we're not responsible for property, anything left in the car.
It says remove all valuables. Not responsible for vehicles that are not in sound working condition. This doesn't really anticipate a violin being left in the way. But it seems like this happened like very, very quickly, which suggests to me that this violin was really left very, very close to this vehicle. And so to then say that this man ought to be responsible because you were rushing, you made a bad judgment, you left the violin, there on the concrete isn't reasonable to me. My suggestion is that you file an insurance claim with your insurance coverage, but I am not going to award you this $5,306 for this violin because I think you created a situation that should have been avoided. Therefore, judgment against the plaintiff, so ordered, will stand adjourned.
Judge Hatchett has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim has been denied.
Using your phone and driving is illegal, so good luck keeping your job after this.
Hey, I'm sorry about the violin, but you're the judge. It's not our fault.